Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to end of day update. And you can see Bitcoin starting with Bitcoin. We got a buy signal just today. You can see this massive candle, almost 5% candle. We got a green dot on RSI, which is a buy signal, and also on PPO. You can see if I zoom in, green line is about to cross red line. So by the end of day today, this is live market around 8 p.m. sorry, Eastern. This will cross, and you can see it's already crossing now. So that's a buy signal. So everything is looking good for Bitcoin bulls, and you can see here my projections are drawn here. We came back to this green support. So you were here consolidating here, and now we are making higher highs and higher lows. You can see here my projection, I did not change anything. You can see everything is going good. Now in one day we got this massive candle around this 32k resistance. We could get some little bit pullback, but eventually we're going to break this resistance, and the target for end of this year will be around 40,000. Ethereum, same thing, little bit weaker compared to Bitcoin. Again, in the support box, came right there, getting a green dot right now. PPO still did not get that crossover, so maybe it will take a couple of days before we get crossover, but you can follow Bitcoin to trade Ethereum and other cryptos. So I think Ethereum is getting ready. So once Bitcoin, so usually Bitcoin goes first. Once it's going to stabilize, then it's going to give room for Ethereum to go even higher. So I think crypto is looking good, looking for new highs by the end of this year. All right, so now we got rid of crypto. So now let's quickly look at NASDAQ. You can see NASDAQ got massive candle, and actually I'm going to add another indicator. Let's get rid of PPO. We're going to add moving averages, and let's go to 1 hour chart and show you what happened today. You can see my projection is playing out. Like I said, if you watch my video yesterday, end of a weekend video, and then nothing changed, the projection is same. So we're getting higher highs and higher lows, and there are gaps here to the fill to the upsides. From here, the top gap is going to be around 4.37%, and for the end of the year, my target is new all-time high from here, which is going to be around, I think, from here. Let's quickly look at the measured move from the close to the new high. It's going to be almost 11% away. All right, and if I go to let's go to weekly chart, and let me add moving averages to show you quickly my moving average chart. You can see here we always go between green and red lines. You can see bull market always touch between these two lines and bounce, and now also we are touching, and now we are bouncing. I think most likely we are going towards a new all-time high from here. Alright, so let's get rid of these moving averages, and then let's bring back our original moving average, and let's see. So yeah, so now let's go to US 100, which is NASDAQ. You can see we are in right near resistance. If I hide this, you can see here downward sloping trend line, daily chart, and you can see we had resistance on 12th of October. So we really need to break this downtrend, and right now from today's close, we are almost around 0.68% away. All right, so if I go to triple Qs, you can see this is going to be around 372-ish. Okay, so I really want to see bulls pushing above this tomorrow. So from here to this candle is around 0.9%. So if you can get like 1% or higher candle up, we can see this downtrend can break, and then we're going to start making higher highs, higher lows. One thing to concern, which is concerning me, if I go to 1 hour chart, we had a gap up, and that gap is never filled. So that's not something I like. Usually gaps are filled, and you can see even on SPY we have this gap, Dow Jones have this gap, and IWM also. All indices have this gap. So we just gapped up, and we never came back to fill this gap. So that's the only thing which is bothering me. You can see, for example, here we had this gap, and we had to come back a couple of days later to fill this gap. So just be mindful of that. Then again, let's go back to daily chart. If for some reason we come back down tomorrow, fill this gap, that will be your time to buy 365. If not, if you're going straight up, break this resistance, then probably we're going to come back later on next year to fill this gap. But for now, I'm keeping this gap here so that you're aware of this gap and plan accordingly. Another bullish thing which happened is now we are above all moving averages. You can see red line, yellow line, white line, green line. This is 50 SMA, 50 EMA, 20 EMA, and then 10 EMA. We are above all moving averages, above 200 SMA and 200 EMA, which are these blue lines. So this is the bullish. This is tech sector is the bullish. Tech sector is the most bull friendly sector right now, and price action looking very bullish on tech sector because it's above all moving averages. We just need to close above this downward sloping trend line, and then I think we are good for a massive bounce from here. Alright, so let's go to S&P 500. You can see here S&P 500 also we have this downward sloping trend line, and you can see we are now just facing this yellow line is 50 EMA, just facing resistance here. We are now trying to make higher highs, higher lows. You can see here we were going lower and now trying to make higher highs, higher lows. Now if we can break above this resistance, that will be very good. And let's quickly go to SPY to show you here. This is the cash index. You can see again facing resistance on this yellow line, which is 50 daily EMA line. Now the good thing is we are back above this trend line. So if I hide this chart, you can see we are back above this trend line. So you can see we price action went below it. We broke down. Now again we have this gap up today. So I'll leave this gap in green because eventually that will be filled. And the good news is we're above this white trend line. Okay, now we're facing some resistance here. So the next step for bulls is to break through this resistance. And this gap right here around 438. So from here we can go around 0.6% higher. That will be a gap fill. Another gap here around 450, then third gap is around 456. All these gaps are the gaps to fill to the upside. If tomorrow for some reason if we can go above this red line, which is 50 SMA daily chart, that's going to be around 0.8%. If we close above that, that's going to be very, very bullish. And I think from here we are running for a new all-time high, like I said, in a green projection. Dow Jones, same thing, very bullish move. You can see here we got this pullback here, and now we're going higher. So on the green line, so again same thing, 50 SMA, 50 EMA, sorry, this yellow line is facing resistance right there. Really want, again we gapped up, really want this to, now it can go a little bit higher. It can even fill this gap then come back down, or it can go straight and come back down later. But just remember there's a gap here, and if for some reason we come and fill this gap around 336, that's going to be very bullish. IWM, you can see below this trend line, this dotted trend line, and if I go to 1 hour chart, you can see this, there's also gap around 170. So for now let's wait for it to go above this trend line. Price action is still struggling. If it goes above this trend line, close it, then it's going to be really, really nice. Let's go to gold, and before I go gold, let's look at VIX. So VIX is let's see, crushing, down 10%. Wow, down 10%. Wow. So you can see it's following my projection. I'm looking for it to, by the end of this year, follow down, maybe make a new low. So that's going to be bullish for stock market. Gold consolidating here. There's a gap here. I don't know when that going to be filled. Maybe next year, we'll see. But for now, it can come back again in this support box. After this massive 4%, 5% candle, it should consolidate a bit and then go higher. Silver, same thing here. After this massive candle, just finding support around $23, $22.3, and it can find support and then bounce from here. Natural gas, you can see this trend line just making higher highs, higher lows. And if I bring in moving averages, let's see if you can find some support here. You can see it's finding support right here, 10 moving average green line. Also 20 moving average is a white line, and then blue line is 200 EMA. It's going to find some support. It can go a little bit more lower and then bounce. All right, so target is around 4.34, this gap here. So from today's close, it can go higher around 29-30%. Crude oil, just consolidating, finding support on this daily 50 SMA. I am bearish. I think it's going to go down eventually, make a bear flag and then sell off. We'll see if it can go down and then find support here. We'll see how it goes. Dollar index, again, I'm looking for dollar to sell down. That's what I'm looking for. We'll see how it goes. Bitcoin we already covered. Let's quickly look at tech stock. Apple, again finding resistance on this trend line. Good news is it's closed above this 50 SMA, but oh yeah, both 50 EMA and 50 SMA. From here it can make higher highs, higher lows, and then looking for new highs. From here, if it can break this trend line, that's going to be very bullish. Tesla earnings is coming very soon. Actually, let's see, when is it? Wednesday, end of day, so 2 days from now. Back above this trend line and back above both 50 SMA and EMA. So looking for new highs and close this gap around 291. Microsoft, nothing changed, looking for new highs. Google also already near new highs, looking for new highs and back above this trend line. Meta, and also let's go to 1 hour chart. Did this gap fill? No, this gap is still there, so it could come back a little bit lower and then go higher. Amazon, again looking for new highs, and it's finding resistance right on this 50 daily SMA because it's consolidating, making a flag. Maybe it's going to break out very, very soon. We'll see. Netflix also down. Netflix is one of the stocks down the most, below all moving averages. So this stock has the highest potential to go out of all FANG stocks. And if I go to 1 hour chart, let's see, You can see very oversold. I don't see any bullish momentum yet, but very oversold. Okay, so let's see Netflix daily chart. This is where you want to buy. You can see background of this RSI, very oversold. Snowflakes up 3%, looking for new highs, like I mentioned here. NVDA at 1.39%, up above all moving averages and looking for just continuation higher. AMD also above all moving averages, looking for just continuation higher. Toronto Stock Exchange just above 20 EMA, still a long way to go. There's a gap here, so it is quite possible from here it can come back down, fill this gap before it can go higher. So come back down and then go higher. We'll see how it goes. Hang Seng Index now finding support on this trend line. You can see this trend line broke out, now coming for back test and finding support at this 10 moving average green line and now going higher. Quickly look at bonds and commodities. So bonds is consolidating. Looks like bottom is in. Look like you can see making new lows with higher momentum on RSI. So just wait for this downward line to break and this red resistance to break. Copper also right in the support box, looking for it to find buyers and bounce. Palladium also near the support box around 1140. So consolidating here. Wheat, a little bit of weakness, finding resistance on this daily 50 SMA and EMA. So wait for it to break off that to buy again. Corn just consolidating, finding resistance on this 50 EMA and finding support on this 50 SMA, just consolidating before it can go higher. Soybeans in the buy zone, nothing changed. Sugar is I'm looking for a new, not new low, like a touch on this trend line before it can go higher. Alright, let's quickly look at gold, Newmont mine, because gold miner looking for a little bit of weakness to fill this gap, then go higher. Gold miners, same thing, looking for this weakness to fill this gap and then go higher. And let's look at sectors, XLK. Let's see if it filled this gap or not. This gap is still not filled. So go to daily chart, looking for this gap to fill before it goes higher. XLE, looking for, XLE is health, sorry, oil sector, looking for this gap to fill. Healthcare, bullish move back on this trend line, above this trend line, so everything is bullish. If it can close above this 50 SMA 132.14, it's going to be very bullish. Utilities sector, again finding resistance where it should. Good news is it closed above this 20 EMA white line, so it could come back, fill this gap before it goes higher. XLI industrial, again looking for new highs. Real estate sector, again looking for this gap to fill and then go higher. Financials also looking for this gap to fill, then it can go higher. Right, so financials are here, so something like this. KRE regional bank ETF also looking for this gap to fill around 40.53 before it goes higher. Okay guys, thank you, that's it for today. And let's quickly look at zones for tomorrow. And by the way, while I'm doing that, guys, if you're interested in subscribing to my private Discord, there's a link in the description. You can join for free. Please share this with your friends and family. And if you want to know pre-market trade ideas on indices, how things are doing, I usually release videos pre-market and during the market hours to my members. You can join. It's very cheap, like I think almost like $7 a month. One trade, you can make a subscription fee for the whole year. Okay guys, alright, so let's quickly look at US 500. I told this morning we are in the buy zone. So Friday we gapped down, not gapped down, we closed in the buy zone, we gap up, and then again we were very close to buy zone and we came from buy to the sell zone. We closed right near sell zone. Nasdaq 100 did it perfectly. You can see we closed on Friday here, sorry guys, in on buy zone, and then we gapped up, futures gapped up Sunday night, and this morning we touched buy zone once, buy zone twice, and I told pre-market, you can see video still here, that we can go touch sell zone, you can come neutral zone, but right now these are the levels. Dow Jones, the levels are here near sell zone, first red zone, and Russell 2000 also near sell zone. Alright guys, I'll just share that for now, and then on to my Discord group I can share more details, but anyhow, this is it for now. Okay guys, if you're still here, hit the like button on your way out, and I wish you a good rest of the day.